Some lives seem destined from childhood to change the world. Jeff Bezos, both a visionary entrepreneur and tireless dreamer, embodies this unique trajectory. From his childhood dreams of the stars to his relentless battles to build an online commerce empire, he has always followed a guiding star for his ambition. This story recounts the extraordinary journey of a boy fascinated by space who became one of the architects of our future. From an early age, Jeff Bezos was driven by an insatiable curiosity for science and space. Growing up in Houston, he spent hours tinkering in his grandparents' garage, dismantling radios and electrical devices to understand how they worked. The Apollo missions amazed him, and he dreamed of a future where humanity would conquer the stars. His maternal grandfather, a former director at the Atomic Energy Commission, was one of his earliest inspirations. In 1994, while pursuing a promising career in finance on Wall Street, Bezos made a radical choice. He left the security of his job at D.E. Shaw to found an online bookstore, Amazon. Working out of his garage in Seattle, armed with a computer, a bell to mark each sale, and an unwavering belief in the power of the internet, he decided to bet everything on this new technological frontier. He was convinced that e-commerce was a revolution in the making. The beginnings were chaotic. Amazon racked up financial losses, and harsh criticisms abounded. Bezos was often the target of skeptics who considered his business model doomed to fail. The years 1997 to 2001 were particularly tough, marked by the bursting of the internet bubble. Nevertheless, he remained unfazed, emphasizing customer obsession, frugality, and relentless innovation.
Even more generally, I agree with you that capturing mindshare on the internet is extremely difficult. Even more generally, it's the late 20th century, not just the internet. Capturing attention. Attention is the scarce commodity of the late 20th century. And one of the ways that you can do that, and it's the way that we did it, was by doing something new and innovative for the first time that actually has real value for the customer. That's a hard thing to do, but if you do that, then newspapers will write about what you're doing, customers will tell other customers, and you'll get a huge sort of word-of-mouth fan-out, and that can really drive and accelerate businesses. And that's what happened with us. In the first year of opening Amazon.com to the public, we didn't do any paid advertising, and all of our growth was fueled by word-of-mouth and media exposure.
Little by little, Amazon expanded far beyond books. The company diversified into electronics, clothing, groceries, and even film production. The launch of Amazon Prime in 2005 revolutionized fast delivery and customer loyalty. Amazon Web Services, AWS, initially created to meet internal computing needs, became the global leader in cloud computing. Ongoing innovations like Alexa, Kindle, and Echo transformed Amazon into a sprawling galaxy of services. While Amazon thrived, Bezos secretly nurtured his space dream. In 2000, he founded Blue Origin, largely financed by his personal fortune. For many years, the project remained under wraps, focused on making rockets reusable to lower the cost of space travel. The first successful flights of the New Shepard capsule and the B-3 engine marked a new era where space travel would no longer be reserved for the elite.
And, now, on to how it felt. Oh my God! My expectations were high, and they were dramatically exceeded. The zero-G piece may have been one of the biggest surprises because it felt so normal. It's a very pleasurable experience just from just the way it feels, the tactfulness of it. The most profound piece of it for me was looking out at the Earth and looking at the Earth's atmosphere. Every astronaut, everybody who's been up into space, they say this, that it changes them, and they look at it and they're kind of amazed and awestruck by the Earth and its beauty, but also by its fragility. It's so gigantic. We're these tiny little things, and the planet, the atmosphere is so big. But when you get up above it, what you see is it's actually incredibly thin. It's this tiny little fragile thing. And as we move about the planet, we're damaging it.
For Bezos, humanity's future lay in space. He viewed Earth as a precious reserve that needed to be protected, while heavy industrial activities should be moved off-planet. We need to build millions of people living and working in space, he proclaimed. His philosophy was simple yet ambitious: survive by becoming an interplanetary species. Today, Jeff Bezos embodies the bridge between two worlds: Earth, which he has transformed through his innovations, and space, where he projects humanity's dreams. A visionary entrepreneur, he continues to follow the star that has guided him since childhood. Between his terrestrial and stellar ambitions, he inspires an entire generation to dream bigger and reach farther.
The stress primarily comes from not taking action over something that you can have some control over. So if I find that some particular thing is causing me to have stress, that's a warning flag for me. What it means is there's something that I haven't completely identified, perhaps in my conscious mind, that is bothering me, and I haven't yet taken any action on it. I find as soon as I identify it and make the first phone call or send off the first email message or whatever it is that we're going to do to start to address that situation, even if it's not solved, the mere fact that we're addressing it dramatically reduces any stress that might come from it. So stress comes from ignoring things that you shouldn't be ignoring. I think in large part. So stress doesn't come, people get stress wrong all the time, in my opinion. Stress doesn't come from hard work, for example. You can be working incredibly hard and loving it, and likewise you can be out of work and incredibly stressed over that. So, and likewise, if you kind of use that as an analogy for what I was just talking about, if you're out of work but you're going through a disciplined approach of a series of job interviews and so on, and working to remedy that situation, you're going to be a lot less stressed than if you're just worrying about it and doing nothing.